Hey, are there any dog lovers out there? I bet you there are. And I have some projects for you for just in time for Christmas, because you can download the graphics and turn them into these kind of things. Pillows and ornaments, and I have them readily available in my shop. And I'm going to give you a little tutorial today on how to make them like this or like this pillow. And this is little Miss Fancy Pants pillow. And then of course we have to have a shabby chic. This is the hanger, and these are rhinestones, pink rhinestones, can you believe it? Off of Amazon. And some eyelash trim, some flannel for the back. I could have made these sachets, put some smelly stuff in there, but I didn't have any on hand, so I didn't do that. And this little one is an ornament, and she's kind of like the runt of the litter because everybody else looks so dressed up and professional. And this is another one. And these are all in a collection that I've just put out. And what you will get, I want to show you, you will get 8 ornaments like this of dogs, different kinds of dogs. This is actually a Chihuahua. I did not print these on photo paper, so they're a little dull. But when I do make my dogs, I do put them on photo paper, and they're just so nice and easy to work with too. And they're a little thicker. And you get 8 of these ornaments that you can make right away. And they're 3 inches. So if you have a 3-inch punch, I will show you how you can make them into this real quickly with a 3-inch punch. And I just put cardstock in the middle, cardstock on the back. And then with these guys, all you do is print and cut. I added a little bit of trim at the top here to make it festive. You can add glitter. You could actually cut this horn out twice and put some foam dots under there, double-sided foam tape, and make it stand out. You could do the same thing for his drum, her drum. This is a Maltese, and this is a Yorkie, obviously. And so you get those 8 dog ornaments, and then I also am including these 2 little girls with Maltese dogs, or maybe they could be poodles. They could be whatever you want them to be. But you also get this dog that already has a dress on it in case you don't want to go to all the trouble of making a dress, which I'm going to show you how to do. It's really not difficult. But you could always put a bit of ruffle here, trim, and she already has a bow, but you could make another bow and put that over it and make it so it has a hanger on the back, and you can hang it on a tree, give it as a gift. Now this is what you get with the Yorkies that I have on the pillows and the ornaments. They come on a piece of paper like this, 8.5 by 11. They will be on an 8.5 by 11. They'll also be in a PDF, which will be 8.5 and 11. So when you print them out, you've got room to cut and have room for seam allowances. You know, I don't really tuck them in. I just sew around the edges, but you'll be able to just cut them apart, put some fabric on. If you want to print them on fabric, you know, make this your piece of fabric, your 8.5 by 11 shipping label that you put fabric on, print on it, cut it out, put a piece of fabric behind it, and sew around the edges. Sew around the edges with a zigzag stitch all the way around. Stuff it on the bottom, leave an opening here so you can stuff it. Then you can hand sew it, or you can glue it there at that point, and then you have a pillow ready to be decorated. So I left it like that so that you'd have plenty of room if you want to print them on fabric. If not, you know, I gave you the single Yorkies as well, so you can print 1 at a time. You can print 4 at a time if you want. If you know how to work with photos, then you can do that. Now also on this, I was going to do a Santa hat for this little Yorkie, but I like this better. But I did make the Santa hat, and I do give you the pattern for that, and that fits on the Yorkies. And then there is a dress neck piece here that I gave you and a dress front. And I will show you how to use them as I do a tutorial for you on these here. So you are getting quite a bit, because look at everything I got out of this, and I've just begun. I mean, I've only got one of these, and I can do 8 of these with the dogs, and then I have 2 with the 2 little girls with dogs. So that's 10 ornaments that can be done, and you can print these out as many times as you want. And this little girl, she's just kind of, I guess you could say that what do they say? The something of the litter. Can't think of the word, but the brunt. No, not the brunt. Okay. I'll think of it as soon as the video's over, and you can tell me what it is too. But you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to show you. I also put snow on here and a pipe cleaner around it. But I'm going to show you, because when you punch these out, there is this little problem of this right here. So I'm going to show you how to punch out the 3-inch circle and keep this on there, or put it back on there. Let's say you're not going to keep it on there. You're going to put it back on there. So I'll be right back with everything set up to go and show you how to do that. Okay, I'm back, and I have printed out some of the ornaments. I'm only going to do one though, on the Epson presentation paper, and I always put my printer on highest quality. And if you have a selection where you can select photo paper, I highly recommend that you do, and it's matte photo paper that you want, not the glossy. Okay, and I remembered what the thing of the litter is. It's the runt of the litter, not the brunt. The runt. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this Yorkie right here, and I have to cut it down because I got to get it to fit in my 3-inch punch, which I have right here. I love this thing. So many things you can do with it. Get as close as you can to the edge of the ornament, but you have to leave this open up here, so you have to have something to hold on to. Turn it over, put your ornament in there, and make sure it lines up with the circle, okay, and then punch. And what you have left is this, okay? So then I take this, well, and you have your ornament here. I hope that's close enough. Let's see. Okay, what you do with this is you cut it out. Now, I don't leave that loop on there because it's useless, it really is. And I have that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some kind of cardstock, just snip it a little bit. Got to make it narrow. I take my art glitter glue. I'll put a little bit of glue on there. Come on now. No? Okay. It's being bad. So I use the hot glue. And right where the ornament goes, or that cap, I'm going to glue this right onto there. Then I'm going to take this and glue it right on back to where it came off of as well as I can. Now that's not really great, but I can't see what I'm doing. And I would have taken the time to really line it up, but it's not bad, because if I wanted to put some berries and holly there, or a bow, I mean, that's what I was going to do on here, put a bow, and I forgot to do it. So then what I do is I take a couple and I cut a couple more, I clip a couple more of these. This is my file folder. I'm just going to punch out a couple of them. This thing is stubborn. It's getting old. Not that old though. And for the backing, I wanted to put red on the back. So I'm going to punch one of those out of the red. There we go. And now I have 3 layers, and it will be 4 layers when I put it all together. And what I'm going to do is put it together. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue these 2 together. Make sure they're really together, even. I'm just going to put a little glue in the middle. I'm not going to mess with it. Then I'm going to do this one. Put a little glue in the middle. The glue stick will work. Line it up good. And then I'm going to bring it over here. But before I do that, I'm going to glue my hanger in on my ornament. And then I'm going to glue this in. I didn't bring my silicone pad to take that off. And what you can do, if you don't like that showing in the back where there's just, you know, cardstock and stuff, I would cut out another one, because you can print out as many of these as you want. Look at that. Wow. How'd that get in there? And I would cut another one out and put it in the back. It is, I haven't done that before. Okay. And then I take a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to glue it all the way around because I don't want the edges of the file folder and the cardstock to show. And I might just glue that down a little bit more. Make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to shape the pipe cleaner before I glue it on, because it's a heck of a lot easier to have it already shaped than to try to shape it while you're gluing. And I'm just going to glue the edges. And now if this is like watching paint dry, go ahead and go ahead. I've got other things on the tape. But for some people, they don't know. If they're just starting out in the crafting hobby life, maybe you don't know how to do this. But see, because it's already shaped, it's so easy to go on. It just follows the shape it's already been formed to. And I like to use snow text on all of my ornaments. And that's what this snow is on here. Almost there. And you could put lace on here. You could put anything on here. You could decorate it up any way you want. And you could make it tonight. Say you have a party to go to in the morning, and you know somebody that has a dog. What kind of dog? I've given you 8 different dogs. So hopefully one of those dogs will be the kind that your friend has, or your boss, or your person that you work with, fellow employee, and you can make it for them, or your aunt or uncle that is coming to visit, because Christmas is so full of friends and relatives, you never know who you're going to see. And lots of people have dogs. So that's a very good, easy project for you if you need to make a quick ornament. Now, for the Yorkie that comes on that page, I already printed out. I printed the 2-page one. That's this one here. I printed that. Now, one of the dogs has ears that stand up, because there's a lot of Yorkies that have that. And then there's another dog that has the ears that go down. There's a lot of Yorkies that have that. So I gave you the choice because they're all different. And I already printed it out. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the back of this sheet. I've cut it out, and now I want to go around it a little bit where the, let me find my marker here. a marker. Let's see. I have this fabric marker by Tulip. It's kind of a brownish, tan brown. And I use that on the ears. Let me see. Where is she? You can see here where I used it on the ears. You don't have to, but I just kind of like the way it made it stand out. I'm not going to bother doing that tonight because, again, watching paint dry is no fun. But you see there's some white spots when you print these out and you want to go around and you want to get them. And especially up here, you can see where there's, on some of these, I did as best I could to give them a little jagged edge. And then I went around them with a black marker and just outlined them. And that's all it took. And then I did do the ears with this. I would not recommend doing this on the face, but you can reprint if it doesn't print out right. If you want to experiment with it, by all means do that. So then what I do, let's get these little ladies up here that have dresses on. What do I do with the pillows? Okay. It's not real difficult. You gotta cut yourself some lace. Let's see, this is probably way too much lace, so let's see how long it is. It's 9 inches. It's definitely too long, but it's just about the right width. I do mine about 1.5 inches, and this is the same lace that is on here, and you can see that. And all you do is do a running stitch, and you gather it up and glue it on. Now that may seem a little bit easy, and that is a nice thing, I think, because it is easy, and we want easy. The hardest thing is not having it the thread not up on you, right? Okay. All right, so I'm just going to run a few stitches till I get it where I want it. I wasn't going to do this, I was just going to tell you, but then I thought, well, there's some people that are going to say, can you show me? And I understand that. Somebody had to show me a lot of things, and it takes time to learn all of it. You don't learn it all in one night or one video. So you have to watch a lot of videos and listen to a lot of people to learn so many things. If you're like me, I like to do all kinds of things. I don't like to do just one thing. Now, see, it's gathering up. So I'm going to take my hot glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there and glue that to begin with right there. And then I'm going to pull it as soon as I know that that glue is dry. I'm going to pull it up and see where I want it to stop, and I think it's really close. So I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to glue this under. You don't have to. I'm going to find the spot where I want it. Well, let me see. Let's not do it that way. Just keep pushing it down. This is the easy way to do it. Just keep pushing it down where you want it. Make it look like a little skirt. And if you get glue out here, don't worry about it. You can just take some trim and cover over that, and nobody will ever see it. It's just as good as gold. Okay. This is probably the fussiest part of it all. And I'm probably not doing a real good job because I really can't see too much what I'm doing. So, but that's good enough. Okay. Now I have glue all over my fingers and the thread will not leave me alone. Okay. All right. Now I glued it to the paper. So there you go with that. And then I take, now see, here's some trim. And I can just glue that right over that. But before I do, where is that piece? I want to show you. Well, here's one part. You You can cut out a piece of paper or you can cut out material, use this as your pattern, and you can put it right down there like I did for her. Okay, so you can have that kind of a front, or you can have this kind of a front, and I used felt, and this is the piece I was looking for, okay? So you put it right there. You just use that as your pattern, or I also didn't use a pattern. I used some crochet, a part of a doily, and just use that for her collar. So it's up to you what you want to do. So what I'm going to do is I have this little piece of gathered lace that I got off of a pillow, and I'm going to use that for her collar, and I'm not even going to use the template. I'm just going to use this as it is. Take that out of the way. Now that's if you have particular fabric that you want to use and you want it to look right on the dog. So you kind of have to have a pattern. But if you have ruffles and lace, you don't have to use a pattern at all. But it is included just in case you want to. Okay, so there's that. Just going to trim that off. And now I want to make a bow. And I do have a tutorial on how to make a bow using, well, I use, what do they call these? The big fork, you know. You also can use a regular fork, but I like to make them as big as I can. So here we go. I'm doing it too fast. Take your ribbon. Let's see. This is about 8 inches long. Probably 7 is fine. This goes over the front. This goes around the 2 prongs and into the center under the ribbon. Okay, let's do that again. Under the ribbon and through the hole. Bring this over. Bring this down. Bring your ribbon through. Pull them together. And then you're just going to tie a knot. Now, if you want to see that over again, I have a tutorial on it. I think I go a lot slower. Okay. So, now we have a bow. I think a bow there, or actually I like it in its hair a lot better, fur. So I'm going to put it in its fur up here, and its top knot. That's what they're called. Let's trim that down a little bit. Okay. And I will put a flower there, and also I'm going to put some of this. Am I in frame? Some of this trim here. I used to make these dogs completely of fur, real fur. I used wool and I used fur by the yard. My fur that I bought was $40 a yard. And I used to sell the dogs like hotcakes when I made them out of fur. And this is how I made them. Because I wanted to have, I would make all kinds of Christmas ornaments, so you can put a little Merry Christmas, a sticker, anything in there. I used to put everything. I had them holding red trucks. I had them holding trains. I had them holding everything. But they were real fur, front and back, real dresses. And they were expensive. And I haven't done that in a couple years. I thought about it today, and then I thought, no. I'm not doing that again. So she's done with, she's not really done. I'm going to put a rose on there like I did here, okay? And I put a bow here, and then I found a crazy little flower that I thought was cute. And I put rhinestones all the way around, 2 rows of them. I put eyelash trim all the way around. And then I hung I glued on some pink rhinestones. And what else? What else? What else? Oh, here's another one. Okay. This one, she's a Victorian girl. She's a Victorian Yorkie. I made this. I took a flower out of a dress and I added some green ruffle. And then this was a flower and it was all rolled up and it had all of this in it. So I unrolled it and I used it for a skirt and gave her a bow and some lace. I have not put the handle on it yet. I like to do that. I like to put handles so they can hang on the wall or they can go in a drawer. It doesn't matter. Or sit on a bed. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so that's how you do those. And these guys, I just cut them out. And I put a little trim there. You don't have to. You can glitter them up anywhere you want. I put the hanger on. Then I glued them onto some black cardstock and cut that out. And that's really all I did with those. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And she would look cute with a hat on her head too. So you can make them any way you want. You decorate them any way you want to match your home decor, to match someone else's decor. If you know they like pink, make them pink. And I haven't done anything with these girls yet, but I will be decorating them, and I think they will be fun to do too. I have lots of friends to give gifts to that have dogs. So anyways, thank you for stopping by. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I will be back very soon with some other Christmas things you can do, quick gifts. Okay, hopefully tomorrow night I'll have some for you that is even easier than these. Okay? So have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.